as you go through it, right? One game in the SEC East or West does not put you in a championship mode. But
Right.
one game against an opponent in your own side is like winning two games, a game and a half. So it becomes different. Your crossover opponents become certain things, but in the SEC, it's like NFC Central, right? So you're playing a win against an opponent in your own side is worth damn near two games. And we talked about Florida 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And said that was going to be hard. I told you, it's a hard place to play in, right? And the Swamp it's truly a tough environment. The winning percentage there is hard, but I mean, with what they're doing right now and what Mark Stoops is and what he's become, he's been consistent over the last 7 years, right? Struggle early, but everybody stood behind him. But I'm just going to tell you this: Kentucky is a real football team. Defensively, they showed it last year. They get the offensive pieces working in the same place. I still think they got a huge ceiling.
Yeah, I agree with you, Coach Sumlin. And I mean, anytime you go in the Swamp and win a ball game, that gives your entire program a lot of confidence. And I mean, to me, everyone talks about Will Levis, and I love Will Levis. I've been on his hype train for a while. Knew him from Penn State when I was there, but I mean, that Kentucky defense flies around now. That defense that doesn't play any games, and I don't think that they get enough credit across the country. But I mean, you look at their schedule. They got to go to Ole Miss, which is a game that I think they should win. And then it really comes down, they go to Tennessee and they got to play Georgia at home. And so it's going to come down to those two games. But I think just the momentum that they have after beating Florida, going on the road and beating Florida, really propels you into the rest of the season. As you guys know, it's football's a game of momentum, and they certainly have it right now.
So I'm gonna go. Listen, a little detour, but I'm gonna go. Give me both of you guys. Give me 30 seconds. We'll start with you, Adam. Tennessee, are they a real threat? Because the way that watching their receivers, when those receivers catch a football, they look for a ref, throw the ball to the ref. They want him to spot the ball. They're addicted to tempo. Is Tennessee a real threat in the East?
Yeah, I think they are. I mean, I love what Josh Heupel's doing, and they just play at such a high tempo on offense. Obviously they beat a Pitt team that's decent, but was in a battle with West Virginia, who's not very good, and beat Ball State. But yeah, I mean, I think that program's come a long way from where it was a couple of years ago. Obviously, just coming out of a tough time with the previous regime. But yeah, I love what Josh Heupel's doing at Tennessee, and I think they're a contender. That's the thing with the SEC. We could go through every team right now and say they're all contenders. It feels like after week 2.
Josh Heupel's a really good football coach. He's a player overachiever. He won't get mad at me for saying that because I was there at the time in Oklahoma. So, and when he started his career, so he's an overachieving guy. He knows what talent looks like because he's seen it, and how to operate in that space. I would say that I wouldn't get so excited right now because Pitt, where they were and who they were, what they did last year, they lost two of the best players in the country.
Yeah.
Last year, right? Everybody asks, is it quarterback or the receiver? Well, guess what, guys? I was at USC's practice. It's both of them, right? So both those two dudes are like top 5 picks, right? So you can't, whatever program you're in, unless you're at Alabama, you can't lose those two dudes and be the same team the next year. So to me, Tennessee still has to prove who the Volunteers are, right? When they go in the East, right? In the East, can they go to Florida? Can they go back to back? Can they cross over and in the West and win a game? One of the two. Right. And I don't know if that's going to happen.
It's going to be rough. Their crossover schedule, when you look at Tennessee from a crossover schedule standpoint, obviously they're going to play Alabama. They play Alabama every year. That's not going to be easy. They get Alabama at Neyland. This is a team that also is going to play from a crossover standpoint. They have to. They play LSU. So I don't know, and I still don't know how I feel
Hey,
about
welcome
LSU.
to the West, right? That's every week in the West.
Yeah, I still don't know how I feel about LSU, but that's just another story for another day. I guess I want to here's the thing. We're going to talk about Jim Harbaugh here in a little bit and some of the decisions that he's made, or the prime decision that he's made. But is Mark Stoops, is he one of the top 10 coaches in college football with taking a Kentucky football team to the level that they're at and then doing it? Let's be real. He's done it several years in a row, having this team in contention. Even though they haven't reached the mountaintop, they're still in contention. Coach Sumlin, you start because you felt that pressure before.
Yeah, no, I've known Mark forever, right? So obviously working for his brother, right? We're good friends, but from let's skip over what happened this summer with him and Cal about being a basketball school. We're gonna gloss that over. I'm gonna skip through that because both of them are my friends, right? So I gotta stay out of that fight. But what Mark's done there is unbelievable. I mean, even back to, if you look through his record, the only other guy that won more games in that amount of time is Bear Bryant.
Right.
Think about that. That should answer your question.
Adam?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think he's a guy that probably doesn't get enough recognition, and is now that he's finally the all-time winningest coach at Kentucky. And I mean, he's created his own culture, his own program. He did it the right way too, like somewhat limited expectations to start. And you've seen the identity of that team in their play. I was just talking about the defense. They're physical, they're hard-nosed, and he's recruited well. I mean, getting Deontay Goodwin out of Kentucky, landing him over Alabama and everyone else in the country was a huge win.
But even Wan'Dale Robinson out of the transfer portal coming home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, they've won some big time recruiting battles, and as you guys know, that's what it comes down to in college football. But I think he's probably in the the top 10 coaches in college football right now. You think of that top tier. Hopefully, I don't miss anyone here, but you think like Kirby Smart, Saban, Ryan Day, Sweeney, Lincoln Riley, Kyle Whittingham at Utah. How many is that? Dude, hold on. I put myself in a trap here by trying to name some of these. Okay, so that's six.
We're at 6.
And then you probably got to go. Yeah, I mean, I think the next wave is like Mark Stoops, Mel Tucker, Sam Pittman, James Franklin.
Where's Paul Crispin?
Who am I leaving out? Dude, I knew I shouldn't have gone down this path because I just left out Jim Harbaugh too. I left out Jim Harbaugh too. So yeah, but I mean, but you get it. He's in that ballpark of the top 10 coaches in college football. Because
you just put yourself in a bad place with Mel Tucker.
I know I should have done that.
What's going on, guys? Rob Doster here, the founder of the Field of 68 and the Field of 12 Media Networks. I wanted to take a quick minute to let you guys know about an exciting new project that we have been working on for the last 3 months. The Almanac, an all-encompassing preview of the 2022-23 college basketball season. We spoke with every single Division I head coach to give you a robust and accurate preview for all 363 Division I college basketball teams. We have predictions for conference finishes for all 32 leagues. We have features on the best freshmen, the best big men, the breakout stars, the coaches on the hot seat, so much more. It is 600,000 words of sheer happiness for the college basketball fan in your life. The Almanac is going to be available for digital purchase on September 26th for just $19.99, but you can pre-order it today using the promo code HOOPS and save 20%. Just hit the link in the description below.